Welcome guys, day one. I'm so excited to get you started. This is a beautiful workshop that we do on every single Soulshine retreat. It is such a foundations class of unlocking the gifts within you that really want to emerge out by clearing away a lot of the clutter and the baggage and a little bit of the mental body as well, so that we can start to unlock the gifts that reside inside your intuition and listening to your soul's truth. So you guys have a beautiful workbook in here. Feel free to print this out. Otherwise, grab a journal and a pen, and I'm going to ask you to follow along with this video. Now, the invitation today is for you to follow your intuition. And to me, what that means is not thinking too deeply into the response towards the question, but instead thinking about the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask the question. So it's just like, what's your favorite fruit? And rather than thinking about, oh, maybe apples, maybe banana, maybe apricots, the first thing that pops into your mind is like oranges. And you just write that down straight away. So you're not thinking too deeply, and you're writing down straight away whatever's on the first of your mind. As well as that, if repetition comes up, so say for example, what do you wish you made more time for? And again, you're writing down yoga, meditation, yoga. Pay attention to these things. The things that are repeating at the forefront of the mind are the things we want to pay real attention to. Because if we start to activate these things more and more into our day, you are going to unlock a lot more passion and purpose and fulfillment as we go along on this 30-day journey together. So, without further ado, if you have this, whip it out. Otherwise, let's get that journal and that pen right now. The first question is, why did you say yes to the 30-day challenge? When you saw this pop up and you clicked purchase, why? I'm going to give you about a minute to respond to each of these. What were you needing? What was your soul craving? What was your pain point? I'm going to prompt you along as we go through the workbook towards your response to start to get you thinking in a non-linear way. The next question, and you can go back to any of these, you can pause at any time, is why? What is your story at the moment? So what I mean by story is, what is the thing that your mind is attaching to for you? Is it, I always get chronic fatigue, I'm always tired, I'm feeling a little bit low in self-esteem, I feel like I really would love to love my body, but I just don't, and I think I'm fat, and I think I'm ugly, and what is your story? And often these are to do with the pain points, the traumas, the things that are patterning on repeat that we just feel like we can't let go of. So what is your story? Part of my story was that I was depressed for many years of my life. I didn't love myself. And it wasn't until I decided that I could transform that story that things shifted and started moving forwards. On the right-hand page, self-care matters. What makes you feel alive? So in order to cultivate more of what we want in our life, we need to really understand, when was that last time that you felt so alive? Write it down straight away. What were you doing? Who are you with? What's the first vision that comes into your mind? And then what fills you with happiness? If you can visualize the last time you felt like the happiest person in the world, you were smiling ear to ear, you were laughing, you were giggling. What were you doing? Who were you with? Where were you? What fills you with happiness? And then what do you wish you made more time for? You might have a bucket list of things where you keep going, oh, I need to join the gym. I need to go for that walk. I wish I could have more time to do this. What are those things for you? That is a question that, what do you wish you made more time for? I surveyed 100 of my personal training clients 5-6 years ago and basically said to them, what do you wish you had more time for or made more time for? And all of the responses is what created my beautiful Soulshine retreat experience that hundreds of women have been on to date and got amazing results. So isn't that so cool? All right, let's turn the page. And in order to know what we want to do more of in our life, we actually need to realize what we need to let go of, which is why I want to talk about what dulls your shine. And this can feel pretty grim, but it needs to surface so that we can clear it and let it go. So the first thing that comes to your mind, when is your mind chatter the loudest? So your inner critic, your inner mean girl, that voice inside your head that says, I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, you're not worthy, you can't do that, who are you to do this when there's so many other people doing that? When is your mind chatter the loudest? For me, I know that it's when I don't get enough sleep. That is when my mental body starts to go into overdrive, or too much coffee or too much stimulation from different things could also do that. If you're around toxic people, there could be certain people that come to mind that you just don't feel great around. So when is your mind chatter the loudest? And remember, you're just dot pointing first thing that comes to mind. What dulls your shine? The first things you can think of that dull your shine. So if I'm over here just like, wow, life is so good, I'm so happy, and then all of a sudden something happens and I just crash down and burn, and I'm just like put into this little space where I'm so small and just like don't want to get out of the house. What could have happened to create that within me that dulls my personal frequency and personal shine? Moving on, what makes you feel sick inside? So if you're feeling nauseous, dizzy, icky, there's a gut-wrenching feeling in your solar plexus. What makes you feel sick inside? I know that there are certain situations that cause anxiety within me, and then it just goes into this churning feeling in my belly. And because I have self-awareness around what those things or situations are, I don't do them. Because why would I put myself into that self-sabotaging pattern and pain when I can be doing more of the things that make me feel alive and energetic? What makes you feel sick inside? It might be certain foods. And then what are your triggers? So there are triggers that will provoke that sick feeling inside, or the mind chatter to go into an overstimulation, or the dulling in the frequency and shine of us. What are the triggers? As I said before, for me, when I don't get enough sleep, that can be a trigger that just sets off this tunnel ball of just downward spiral thinking and thoughts and actions and reactions. But if I catch that, I can stop it. For you, I want you to write down, what are your triggers right now? It might be that you eat, say, a certain food, or don't drink enough water, or skip your morning exercise session, or something in your routine that you don't arrive to. It could be when you're giving too much to others and not giving to yourself first, and you're not coming from that place of a full cup. You will know exactly what I mean here, because it will make sense for the other ones. So just write down the first thing that comes to your mind. Beautiful. If you need to, pause the video, go back over those, fill them in. Otherwise, we are moving forwards into the beautiful wheel of life. I absolutely love this activity. This is what it looks like. You have a heap of domains here that you are going to score yourself on the last month of how you're feeling around each of these domains. I'd like you to either put a line across 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10, and color in from wherever it is in the middle to where you've scored yourself. What this is going to give you is a beautiful visual representation of where you're at right now, what areas you're automatically giving a lot of love and attention towards, and those areas that need a little bit more love and attention. This is an amazing tool to see where you're already putting most of your time and your energy, and also where you're out of balance. And what I see again and again for the clients that I work with inside my coaching programs and the retreats is that when they set goals around activating and enhancing one of these areas, say for example their home environment, making it feel like a really sacred and safe space so that when they come home they feel really amazing, their happiness levels just skyrocket, their relationships just feel more fulfilled, everything just starts to feel a little bit better. And that's our goal here, is for you to activate and cultivate more self-love. So I want you to go through each of these and score it on, I know I'm not only about judgment, but on a rating from 0 to 10. 10 being like, I'm epic at this, I'm amazing, rocking it. So say for example, your health, you're just, drinking water, exercising, feeling really good in your body, and eating really nourishing, organic, whole foods. Give yourself a 10, okay? And then say, for example, in self-care, you're like, yeah, I'm doing all these things, but, I'm doing a lot for others too, and I could do a little bit more for myself. You might score yourself an 8. For spirituality, what this means is your connection to Source, or God, or Creator, or whoever that is for you. And for each of these, it's your interpretation. So don't think too much about it. Just go, all right, how am I feeling with my career at the moment? All right, 8, done. Home environment, how do I feel at home? Done. and go around from there. Finances is the one that gets a lot of people. So what is your relationship with money? How do you feel when you're paying bills? Do you feel like you're on top of things? Have you got leaky money buckets? We'll talk more about this in the videos to come. But for now, how are you feeling with your finances? Go for it. Pause this one and fill this in and take all the time you need. All right, so you have paused the video and finished your wheel of life. It's probably looking like this beautiful picture of squiggles and colors, and you've noticed a few areas that are out of alignment. On the next page, we have our goal setting area. So what I would like you to do is set 1 to 2 goals in each of those domains to be able to raise it from, say, a 5 to a 7 or a 1 to a 3, and just start to create a little bit more purpose in the domain so that you can, basically, the goal is to get that wheel of life to all 10s. So say, for example, for self-care, a goal could be, I am going to have a bath this week, and I'm going to do my 30-day self-love journaling challenge every morning this week and close the door and create a boundary where I know this is me time. Okay, so 1 to 2 goals for each of the areas. Feel free to pause the video. All right, we are back, and because I love repetition. It is like the superpower. You know, we go to school, we practice our times tables again and again and again, and then when we're adults, we just think about it like second nature. So why aren't we doing that with our self-care rituals and practices so we arrive to flex this self-love muscle every single day? The next page here is around your goal setting. So you have 3 domains here. Your personal goals, okay, whatever that means to you, your health goals, and your career goals. This is your permission to start to dream a little bit bigger. Over the videos to come, over the journal prompts to come, there is going to be the invitation for you to go, what do I really want out of life? Am I living in my dharma? Am I living in my purpose? If I had all the money in the world, what would I be doing? Where would I be living? Who would I be around? How would I be feeling? So that we can start to take action towards that becoming our actual reality. And trust me, a lot of the women that I work with, particularly inside our coaching programs, get these incredible results for themselves. So each of these domains, personal, health, career, I would like you to set a couple goals moving forwards around each of these. It might be you'd like to start a career in this. You'd like to start getting paid for this. You may start wanting to work less rather than more, or working in a flow state, whatever it is to you. For health, how do you want to feel? What do you want to be doing? Do you want to start a new exercise routine? Do you want to start eating organic whole foods? What is it for you? And then personal, set some goals for yourself. After you finish those, the last thing I'd like you to do today is set yourself an action of self-love for today. What is it that you'd like to arrive to a little bit later today, because I know you've done your morning practice, that is going to remind you that you are worthy of one thing. And remember, you are amazing.